Hi, this is going to be an energy read and a tarot card read on the energy of Jelani Day. So, Jelani JJ Day was last seen August 24th, 2021 at Beyond Hello Cannabis Store off of Veterans Parkway around 9:15 a.m. in Bloomington, Illinois. Jelani is 25 years old. He is 6'2", 180 pounds. He has black hair, brown eyes, and he has some facial hair. Now, the shirt and the hat he was wearing was found in the vehicle. Now, if you saw this vehicle between Tuesday 8/24, 2021 and Thursday 8/26, 2021, they're asking you to call if you remember seeing that vehicle. Now, if you have any other information regarding Jelani Day, please call Bloomington Police at 309-820-8888 or call Detective Paul Jones at 309-434-2548. You can also email him at pjones@cityblm.org. And those are the contacts that you information and numbers. If you have any information, please call and let them know. If you saw the car, please call and let them know. Sometimes it's the smallest thing and you might think it's nothing. It could be irrelevant to you, but it can make or break their case. So if you know anything, if you saw anything, even if you think but you're not sure, just call, give them the tip, email them, let them know. So Jelani went missing, and it's gotten a lot of media attention. I just want to let you know that this was a hard reading for me to do. The energy is really, really deep and dark and hard. I kind of took it personally. and We'll talk about what I saw, felt, and heard. We'll do the tarot card reading. Of course, we'll get the Bible verse for some advice, and we will talk about the energy surrounding Jelani Day. For me, like I said, it was a little difficult, so bear with me here. I just want to let you know that he was reported missing within the first 48 hours. So they were on it. A couple days after he disappeared is when they found the car, and that was about 60 miles away. Then, later in another location, they find the wallet in the lanyard. Also in Peru, Illinois, that 60-mile away spot where they found the car. Let's see, September 4th is when they found him in the Illinois River. So he goes missing August 24th, and they find his body September 4th. Then September 23rd, they get the dental records and the DNA results proving that it is his body. October 26th, the coroner says the cause of death is drowning. October 17th, the phone was found and sold. October 11th, Jelani's mother, Carmen Bolden Day, found out about the phone through Facebook info and requested the local police hand over the phone to the FBI. November 11th, the employees, the Tri-Stone employees, and those are the people that worked at the dispensary he was last seen at, they started receiving threatening text messages. There is a GoFundMe for Jelani's family. They had no goal. It's a little over 47,000 right now, and you can find his GoFundMe in the comments. I will put that link, or you can just Google Justice for Jelani Day, and it will take you to the GoFundMe. If you can, please donate and help the family. Donating is what really keeps these cases alive and makes it so that the family can afford these funeral costs and these other private investigators and attorneys and His family did immediately get a private investigator and an attorney, as I suggest to anyone who unfortunately goes through something like this. Every time, get your private investigator. Get an attorney too if you can afford it. Jelani's mother did that. Um, they also reported him missing right away. That's great. They had a second autopsy done. After the first one, they didn't, have like very conclusive. And the body was in the water for such a long time, and so they did the second autopsy. All of these things cost money. A lawyer, a private investigator, a second autopsy, to take the time off work, to be there, to search every day, to form these posters, things like that. So that's what you're donating for every time you donate to these families at their GoFundMe. So please do if you can. Also, there's a $25,000 reward for anyone who has information leading to the arrest. So if you have information, as I said, call, email, say something to someone, and hey, there's a reward too. So why not? Now, I want to talk about Jelani. He's, born June 15th, 1996, and he was 25 years old. And he crossed over. They buried him, or they believe his death date was September 4th, 2021. So that's what we're going with, because it's all a mystery right now. So when I went into meditation and I connected with Jelani's energy, it took, a few different times because the energy is so heavy. And this is what I saw. So when he crossed over, Jelani was like immediately met with an older man and an older woman. And they're a couple. They seem like grandparents. And there's this bright light that Jelani's standing in front of. And the woman is standing next to him, and so is the man. But then the woman steps forward in front of him, very protective. And she tells me to have some respect with this reading. And then the man, that I believe is her husband, steps next to her. And he's really tall, like Jelani. Every time Jelani steps in the room, I gotta look up. Like, he's very tall. And so is this man. And this man wears glasses. He looks to be like dressed in a suit, or maybe like a... They both look like they're in church clothes. That's what I'll say. So he's wearing glasses, this man. There's something about his hair. I don't know. Anyway, I understand that this man is like the family protector, and that this woman is very protective of Jelani too. And this man feels kind of like a mediator, And, I say I'm not here to be disrespectful or judge, and that my intentions are just to inform and bring awareness. But, JJ is definitely protected on the other side. Let me tell you, he went straight to his grandparents, and they are with him. And that's what I'm feeling. I don't know, but it feels like a grandparent couple. But then, Jelani steps forward, and he starts showing me his life, and I see him, he's studying and he's researching and he's in the lab, and he seems to be very popular and active and social and busy, just really busy. And somehow I think that he was introduced, or he met or crossed paths with people that did not obviously have the best intentions. They were just the wrong kind of people. And, he was pre-med and he wanted to be a doctor. Now, as a result, Jelani had access to certain kind of chemicals and products and things like this. And the next thing I'm shown is a shroom stick. Now, these are cigarettes or joints, just regular cigarettes or joints, and they take them and they dip them in embalming fluid, right? So that formaldehyde, which is embalming fluid, and they dip the cigarettes and the joints in the formaldehyde, and it's like a PCP high. And so formaldehyde is actually one of the main ingredients in PCP. So, they dip the cigarettes or the joints and it gives you that kind of high. And it's cheap, and you can make a lot. But you would have to know somebody who is in the mortician business. You know what I mean? Someone who works at a funeral home or something like that. You just don't get these things at the local Home Depot. You know what I mean? So so when they show me that, I'm like, oh, okay. So it's something like that. And it's like he had access to something and these people came calling. And then it just like becomes really clear to me that this was an organized crime hit. Okay. There's like a mafia cartel organized crime, and this goes very deep. This is real deep. Now, I say mafia hit, organized crime, and we immediately think of like, you know, El Capone and El Chapo and, all these Hollywood versions of mafia. But that's not what I'm talking about. Like, there's a Cuban mafia, there's a Russian mafia, there's an Asian mafia, there is, a European mafia, there's mafia out of France and Belgium. I mean, it's everywhere, in every culture, in every country. And you know what? There's an American mafia too. And I'm not talking about what Hollywood portrays. I'm talking about our politicians, our DAs, our lawyers, the good old boy cops. They all know each other. They're all related. They all live in the same towns. They all go to the same churches and schools. And that's organized crime too. And that's mafia and that's hitman stuff too. And they are doing things like that. And yeah, we think, oh yeah, mafia is this or that. No, organized crime is organized crime. And a lot of these people don't look like what you expect them to look like, but they are doing it. It is organized crime, And I would take the Ahmaud Arbery case as an example. Look at this. Those men that killed him while jogging did not get arrested for almost 4 months. The DA is now being prosecuted with murder, as she should be. And then the second DA that took over the case, he too, in my opinion, should also be charged. This is crazy. This runs deep, and it's the same kind of shit. It's the same kind of shit going on with Jelani's case. This runs deep. This is organized crime. This is like a mafia hit. This is like, these people are straight gangsters. They're straight killers. And I know that we only think of certain type of people to fit that stereotype, but we need to take a look around because you know what they look like? Sometimes the American mafia is what I'm going to start calling these people because that's what it is. The American mafia, those people involved, they look like, Boss Hogg and the Wolf of Wall Street, and they're married to Karen. So don't get it twisted. These people are doing organized crime, and what I get from the feeling of this town is that it is a small town. And it's the same kind of thing, and it just feels like organized crime. And the cops and the criminals work together all the time. They live in the same neighborhoods, like I said. And even if you're talking, let's say we're talking higher up drug cartel, drug lord, okay, whatever. Those people live in the same neighborhood as all the lawyers and the doctors in town. And their kids go to the same private school. I mean, it's the same kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like, over and over, and they're all working with each other. It just feels like organized crime. And it feels like it goes really deep. And JJ being pre-med, studying to be a doctor, and, sometimes you get into certain careers and then you realize, oh, holy shit, there's organized crime involved in these careers. So I'm going to use the medical industry as an example. The medical field has a lot of drug dealers and a lot of drug abusers that are in the medical business. Some of the biggest drug pushers I know are doctors. Also, some of the biggest drug users I know are doctors. not all surgeons are doing 36-hour surgeries off of pure, will and Red Bull. No, 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 no. There's a whole nother drug they're using. And they got the money to buy it. So they do. People are people, you know? Anyway, I don't think sometimes that when we are raised in our families and in our lives and in our bubbles, sometimes we don't realize what's going on. Jelani's family has a very religious feel to it, okay? And it took so much to even have a conversation because of what I do, because of the crystals and the tarot and stuff. Oh, him and his grandparents let me know. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting here going, I'm not here to disrespect or anything. And if you think that that's what I am and you don't want to talk to me, that's fine, but that's not who I am. And you can see and you can know who I am. It's different when you crossed over. And they eventually decided to talk to me. But when you're talking about extreme upbringing in religion, in Christianity, and in Baptist, and you're talking to someone who grew up in the church, because I did. I grew up in the church. That's why I believe in God. I don't have a problem with God. I have a problem with organized religion. Okay? So, but what I've noticed is extremes. I don't care whatever religion. Extreme is where it becomes a problem. And there's a deep sense of, strong Christian values in their family to where they don't believe in things like this and to where they don't believe in like other stuff that I don't want to, say. But you know how that goes, right? Anyway, this is fine. Everybody's entitled to their beliefs the way they want to believe it. But for me personally, my problem with that is that when a person is sheltered in their bubble and when they are raised in an extreme religious environment, okay, they go out into the world two ways. Either completely naive to what the real world is because you've been sheltered your whole entire life, or you go out there and you figure out what the real world is and you end up living a double life. There's so many people out here in the world talking out their neck one way that they're a Christian, and then on the other hand doing shit that they would never, allow their friends or family to know that they're involved in. Not that I think that JJ was involved in anything bad. As a matter of fact, I think he stuck to his morals and he said no and he didn't want to be involved with these people, whoever they are, whether that's an actual drug cartel mafia type style hit or that's just the good old boys in the neighborhood that didn't like this black man who drove a nice car and was going to pre-med and, all the great things about him they were jealous of. One of the two. It doesn't matter. Either way, it goes back to, like I said, that organized crime. But when you have a strict religious upbringing, in my opinion, what it does to people is either makes them very naive to the real world or it makes them live a double life. And so there's a lot of that kind of energy going on. And you're in a small town. You're in a very small town. I get that feeling from this place. It's not a huge city. I'm not saying it's like, Mayberry or anything. It's not that small, but it's not big. And when you're talking about everyone knowing everyone and everyone being, intertwined, related somehow, it's definitely going on in a place like Bloomington, Illinois. And so the next thing I start to see is JJ getting in his car, and I feel my windpipe is like immediately restricted. Like there's an arm or there's a rope or there's something around their throat. It's like somebody was in the back seat of his car and they like ambushed him and he loses consciousness. And that person drives the car with Jelani, passed out in it to another location. Now, I see very clearly a man who always wears a ball cap backwards. Okay, all the time. He wears his hat backwards. And he has information or he's involved in some way, somehow. the next thing is that, like, I felt like I lost breath and consciousness. Then I feel completely jerked back into consciousness. Like I was shocked into it. And I realized, I'm seeing restrictions and bonding. So it's like he's tied up. And there's panic. And there's torture. And there's pain. And it's just a complete lynching. And I don't know how else to describe it. It's terrible. It's evil. And there's like some kind of sadistic energy to it. Like they enjoyed it. Like they didn't have to do this, but they wanted to. And since Jelani didn't cooperate, comply, whatever it was, it gave them the reason to do it. Now, there's something there with jealousy too, because I feel like there's so much jealousy. They were so jealous of this man for whatever reason. And I think that there's other witnesses too. I think they could have used this as a threat or a warning to other people. It's that feeling, like I said, you just don't say no to these people. You don't come into their territory. You don't say no to them. If they come to you and they ask you for something, you give it to them. If they're whatever, if they're intimidated by you or jealous of you, they feel that they are above the law. And it's just pure evil. It's terrible. And it wasn't planned out too well. Because whoever tried to get rid of his body and get rid of the car, they really didn't do a good job. And, I think like this has caused trouble for somebody. Like somebody's angry about the way this happened and how much attention it's actually causing. And like how far this cover up is having to go now. Somebody is upset about that. It's like from the higher ups in the system or whatever. But the actual murderer, the person that did this, that feels more like a lower ranking, like middleman, like it feels like some cop's kid who went to an extreme, or some fucking kid at the college, or even if it is like that kind of organized crime, mafia level, it's which I think it is, but like traditional, like we would think, this person's like seriously sadistic, like they're out of control, like they've started to enjoy murdering so much, and they've become sloppy at it. Anyway, it's a problem. It almost feels like they just were trying to prove themselves or do whatever they want, and they fucked up. They really fucked this up, and they should have never done what they did to Jelani. Not on this level, not like this. And it's like it's karma that this story will not go away and that his mom won't stop. And I don't think they expected this black kid to have powerful, successful, connected parents and resources. Like, I totally get the feeling that they probably assumed that he was just there on a scholarship, that he got in because of affirmative action, blah, blah, blah. All that racist prejudice shit alumni fucking preps say. It's true. Been in the freaking frat houses when they say it. Like, it is what it is. And their actions are so brazen. And they just do what they want. And like I said, they feel above the law and they have the control and they have the money. They're owning the businesses or whatever, the politicians, the police. This is exactly why you see them say, oh, it was a suicide. Then, no, it was a drowning. Then, no, we don't really know, the case is still open, because, his mom pushed too for the case to be open. They ruled that it was a drowning on October 26th, and she said, I'm not having that. So that's the only reason why the case is still open. They got the second autopsy. That's the only reason why there's maybe other details to his death that would make sense when I see this torture lynching that he went through. I mean, it could literally just be like a rich politician or a lawyer or a businessman in the community or, their kid or something like that. And I keep saying kid, but I mean, they're all grown men. He's 25, but it's a college kid. They need to go back to that college. It's someone who has a lot of money and power to like literally cover up a murder. And I'll say over and over, they got to go back to the college. I keep feeling this lineage, power, alumni. These people run things. They're in charge. It's organized. It's organized fucking crime. Now, I think JJ was raised right and he comes from a successful family. I mean, their net worth themselves are in the multi millions. There was that very religious upbringing. I think Jay went to a good college to live his dreams. And, he didn't know about these kind of things. And when it started coming up, the discrimination, the racism, the get us these chemicals so we can do these drugs and stuff. Yeah, I don't think he really understood what those type of people were about. And being in college and being off here on your own and being an open-minded person, he's a Gemini. Geminis are my devil's advocate of the zodiac. Geminis like to explore that duality of life. And this might be something that I don't even think his mom knew he smoked weed, to be honest with you. I think finding, that he was that was a shock. Maybe she knew, but she didn't know. He never did it in front of her. I guarantee you that. It's that kind of thing. And again, like I said, sometimes you don't know and you go out there and you realize, oh my God, there's a lot of shit going on in this office. There's a lot of shit going on in this college because there's a lot of shit going on in this world. If you've been sheltered from it, it might be, a complete shock when it comes at you. And I think that's part of what this was. But he was who he was, and I don't think he wanted to be a part of it. I don't think and I don't think he told his mom. I don't think he was telling his mom about the issues and the problems and the things like that he was having with people of this community. Because it's evil. It's just evil. It's bad. And someone at that school knows something. Now, I don't know if it will ever even matter because this goes really deep. And then the energy color starts turning very blue. And it's like I'm literally in the ocean and I go deeper and deeper. And it's like this ocean of information. Okay, and it's an ocean of deceit and it's an ocean of greed. And it gets darker and darker and it goes real fucking deep. And I don't know if they'll really know or get the answers. The real truth, probably not. I think eventually this case will play out, either like a John Benet Ramsey case where we just never know, or they end up finding a murder suspect and charging him. But then, that guy freaking commits suicide in jail, you know what I'm saying? Or some shit, and we just don't ever know. Kind of like the Brian Laundrie Gabby Petito thing where, oh yeah, he killed himself, we don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever. Because the only thing that makes me think they're going to try to come to some kind of conclusion is because JJ's mom, Carmen, is a problem to them. She's a threat. And that's why I think they'll come up with some kind of conclusion if they do. But eventually, it's going to be some, it's just not going to make sense like it never does. It's going to be far-fetched and hard to believe with very little actual evidence to their conclusion. This is what happens, right? But they need to, solve it. But it goes too deep. And there's too many powerful, elites, good old boys, whatever it is that are involved somehow to cover out this, huge fucking murder. I mean, it's a huge cover up. You're talking multiple departments and counties, and I even feel that Jelani's mother herself may have received some death threats and some strange phone calls and things. I don't think she's gone public about it, but I feel that that's happening to her. Goes deep. It's as deep as the ocean. And that blue energy, it's all about that throat chakra, that fifth chakra, the throat chakra, and it's located in the neck, and it represents the ability to speak and communicate clearly and effectively. Now, if it's blocked or it's imbalanced, the energy is shyness, withdrawalness, arrogance, anxiety. Gemini energy. JJ is a Gemini. But what this blue energy also tells me is that clear your throat chakra, speak your truth, right? Carmen Bolden Day, his mother, will find healing with speaking her truth and JJ's truth. You got to speak that truth. Jelani's story being shared and remembered even after the case is solved. Solved. Her healing is going to come from that, from sharing that truth and for being the voice of Jelani, but eventually, I think, even being the voice of others and other victims and other families, and that she might start to speak out and really clear that throat chakra and communicate on this fucked up system and on these fucked up situations. And now that she knows personally and understands personally, unfortunately, but she knows firsthand, and now she can actually help others and she can speak for others as she has spoken for Jelani. And that will keep Jelani's memory alive. And it will help her to heal as much as she possibly can. Because this is a terrible injustice. Don't get me wrong. But, there's hope and there's healing for her with speaking Jelani's truth and the truth of other victims too. Now, then Jelani shows me that, his mom is just Mama Bear. And he's shaking his head and he says, Mama Bear, Mama Bear. And that she was just protecting her cub always and forever. And then he starts telling me about sugar cookies. And something about sugar cookies, like I'm having sugar cookies every day, or I remember making sugar cookies on a very special day or something, and on about these sugar cookies. And then he shows me on the other side, he's learned and he wants to learn more, and he wants to write and study philosophy and all of that on the other side now. He shows me he's a healer, and he wanted to be a doctor here in this world because he was a healer. And now on the other side, he still has that healing energy. I think Jelani wanted to be a doctor because of that hope and healing was always in his heart, and that's what he wanted to give, and that's what he wanted to share with the world. And I still think he's going to do that on the other side because his memory isn't going away. His case has brought so much attention to a lot of problems in our society, and I think we may see even eventually, new laws, new requirements of some kind because of Jelani's case. His mom's going to push, and that's going to help her to speak and heal, and it's like a Jelani's law is coming, or something, like a new way that law enforcement enforces their protocol. Something is going to happen with that, because Jelani didn't die in vain, and his life was ended in a tragic, unfair way. But he still completed his soul's journey. Jelani brought so much hope and healing to the world. And even through his tragic murder, we discover more of that hope and healing. Jelani's life had a lot of meaning. It always did. It always will. And Carmen, his mother, will find more healing herself in speaking for Jelani and eventually speaking for others. And so that's what I really felt. That's what I saw. That's what I heard when I went into the meditation. And then I got the Bible because I read the Bible too. And where did it take me? Well, it took me right here to 2 Kings 20. And here it says, Hezekiah's life extended. 2 Kings 25, right down here. Return and tell Hezekiah, the leader of my people, thus says the Lord, the God of David your father, I have heard your prayers. I have seen your tears. Surely I will heal you. On the 3rd day you shall go up to the house of the Lord. So there you go. And I don't think that he died in vain. I don't think that he's alone on the other side. He's with his grandparents. I think his memory will live on forever. His death is going to change laws and protocols in a different way. And I think his family and his mother, her prayers are going to be answered. As the Bible verse says, I have seen your tears. I will heal you. So I pray for Jelani and his family to get some kind of closure, some kind of healing. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever get the whole entire truth. But I do think that hope and healing will come out of this. And that it won't be just another terrible case. Something is going to be revealed and something is going to be changed. And now we will see what the tarot cards have to say. So we will do basic, past, present, and future. Trying to keep its face in there. I like to keep their image there because I want everyone to see their image. But this one was weird how I printed it out. Okay. Anyway, we'll do past, present, future. We will see what the tarot card says about the energy around Jelani Day. And I just feel like this is really something we don't talk about, we don't think about, and we want to just think that the people in power are people, are politicians, are lawyers, are doctors, are everyone is just, oh, they're good moral people. Yeah, no, not always. Even going back to that religious thing, I had a friend a few years ago who, got saved and had a connection with God, had an experience, and was really happy. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm so glad that you have a connection with God now. But I had mentioned to him, because he was looking around in churches and congregations to join and stuff. And I said, be careful with these churches because God ain't in all these churches out there now. And so it's the same kind of thing to where just because people are politicians or just because they're, a cop or a doctor or, I don't know, a nurse or something does not mean people are people, and if they're not a good person, they're not a good person. We like to think that everybody in certain fields are, but not really. Let me tell you, people are people. But again, sometimes we don't know that until we go out into the real world and we have our own experience and we realize, holy shit, these people are people and people are fucked up, and they're jealous and they're hateful and they're greedy. Some of them are just plain evil, though. And what he went through was just plain evil. There's no excuse for that. None. There's no reason. It's just pure greed. It's pure evil. It's pure hate, man. There's like so much jealousy there. I don't understand. But let's see what the tarot cards have to say. But again, I just think that it's like, like the Bible verse said, Hezekiah's life extended. Like, I mean, his life goes on forever now because this changes things. Or will. Let's see. Past, present, future. Look at that. So here in the past, we have the Hermit. This is all about that spirituality, not really knowing where you're going, but taking that spiritual step, one step at a time here with the Hermit and the spirituality, Virgo energy there. Then we have the Seven of Swords or Seven of Wands. So this is all that defensive energy. There's a lot of defensive shit going on right now. With this case, his mom is definitely fighting against, and defending herself. Absolutely. And then here comes that traveling forward with the Six of Swords in the future. We are traveling forward. We are moving along. We are crossing over. We are traveling into calmer waters. That's good. So I really see a lot of spirituality. I really see a lot of defensiveness, but then I see it working out. Bottom of the deck, wow, we have the Ace of Coins. This is about a windfall. This is about luck. That is about, taking a chance somehow. Again, I had even said if you saw anything, if you saw the car, if you remember seeing him, if you saw a car like that that was being driven by someone else, and so, oh, maybe it wasn't him. No, say something about it. Call. you know. Anyway, let's verify the past with the Hermit. And the Six of Cups. So yeah, in the past, there's a lot of spirituality. You don't really know where you're going, but you're having faith. You're going along with it. There's a lot of nostalgia. There's a lot of friends, family, memories, all of that. Absolutely. There's decisions. There's battles. So, his mom's out here fighting a battle. There's no doubt about it. She sure is. That's a past energy, though. So I got spirituality and nostalgia. Sounds about right. Then in the present, we have all this defensiveness going on. Just defensive about this whole case, defensiveness. And slow growth and planning with these Seven of Pentacles. This is taking some time. So things are going to be revealed eventually. We're at 7, we're trying to get to 10. It's just taking some time. Slow, slow. 2 sevens, this is absolutely true love. But again, with that, this is true love because the love of a mother, mama bear. Bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Wands. So information might come in. Great. The Knight of Wands taking action could be bringing a message here. Let's get one more for the present. So we got a lot of defensiveness going on. It's having to stand up, and then we have a lot of slow growth and planning, along with feeling defeated, of course, because we're not getting the information fast enough. Let me tell you, this is not moving as fast as we wanted to. So there could be some defeat. This is going to be a long, hard battle. See, there's a lot of defensiveness here, and there's a lot of growing here, and it just seems freaking hopeless right now. You feel like you're fighting a losing battle. Bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Cups. This is soulmate energy. Again, I tell people all the time, your soulmates are, your parents, your loved one, your kids, all of that ties into soulmate energy. Present energy. There's good news though. Here comes that offer. That's really good. See, so there's good news coming. There's offer. There's, that child energy. An earth sign could be coming forward. Bottom of the deck, we have the messages with the Page of Wands. This is a messenger. So there could be messages coming in, offers coming in, some kind of information. 2 pages, you could have quarrels between friends, but you're going to shake up a system, a fucking crooked ass system. Yeah. So I can see the quarrels coming in. But there's the generosity, absolutely. So, also they might just breadcrumb her. They might be like, okay, here we are. We're going to breadcrumb you. We're going to give you a little bit more information, a little bit more information. Also could be people being generous, people coming through, being generous, giving to the GoFundMe, giving their time, their expertise, sometimes that happens. I got 3 sixes here, so we have achievement. But as I said, I keep seeing things changing. Some kind of law, some kind of protocol, some kind of Jelani's law is coming. So, I got achievement here. Great. Bottom of the deck, we have Sun energy, Leo energy. This is all about happiness. What do I say about the Sun all the time? Love will always win. Truth will always shine with the Sun energy. This is exactly that. Love will always win. Truth will always shine. This is child energy over and over again. So there's a huge, this woman is fighting for her child. She's not going to stop. Good for her. You know what I mean? And then we go into the future where we're traveling forward. We're moving forward. We're going into calmer waters here. He's crossing over here in the future and healing. Amazing. With the star. The star card is all about that healing. This is about the universe giving you those gifts that may not always be a new fucking car. Spiritual gifts, hope, healing, the star, wishes fulfilled, moving forward in the calmer waters with the wishes being fulfilled. There with the star, the balance comes in. See those 8 stars? 8. Eight is all about the Trinity. Skill on the bottom. So collaborating with 3 people, the skill comes in. Just hold on, it's coming. That's good. That's really good. Hope, healing. What did we say throughout this whole reading? Jelani really wanted to bring that hope and healing to the world. That's why he was a doctor. What do we have here in the future? Traveling forward into calmer waters, into hope and healing. Amazing. Wish fulfillments being granted. And that mother energy with the Queen of Pentacles. More earth energy. I don't know what Carmen's birthday is. She could be an earth sign. She could be a Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. But the Queen of Pentacles does represent that mother energy. So again, as I said, she will find her healing absolutely by speaking her son's truth. It's just going to take a while. We're stuck in limbo here with the hangman, and you really got to look at things differently. Also, could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn coming forward with some kind of information. And there's challenges here. Yeah, you're going to have some challenges. You're going to have some quarrels. You're going to have some jealousy. Here comes that jealousy again. People are jealous here. Oh, well. And the secrets with the Virgin Mary and the High Priestess here as the outcome. Oh, wow. Secrets are going to be revealed. Use your intuition. Pray to the Virgin Mary if you believe in her. The High Priestess here tells me secrets revealed. What do I got at the bottom of the deck? The damn 7 of Swords. See that? That lying, that cheating, that thieving coming in with the 7 of Swords. But with her, the secrets are going to be revealed. Absolutely. With the Magician energy, we have Aries energy coming in. Magician Aries, more of that trickery, that fraud, that lies, but it's also manifesting what you need. It's also Aries energy of moving forward. This will be revealed. There's no doubt in my mind. There's going to be some challenges to it, but the secrets are going to come out. And what we see here is that underneath is that lying, thieving, manipulative energy. I'm telling you, it's a mark hit. It's a organized crime. It's not good. It's what it is. And here it is in the cards. But we have that achievement. We have that moving on to calmer waters. We have that wish fulfillment. We have things working out and secrets being revealed here. Absolutely. So I think it might take a little bit of time because, we got to travel forward and we got to get there. But I don't think that his mom is going to stop. I don't think she will. And, when the High Priestess appears, it's all about secrets revealed. Often there's a strong feminine influence, and in a man's reading, it can represent the mother or the most important woman in his life. I'm pretty sure that was his mama. And, the card shows that mystic power, that psychic ability, the unconscious mind. It relates to memory and intuition. We got that here too. Relying on instincts. There it is. Traveling forward, being defensive, coming up that mama bear. You might face some challenges. Be discreet. There could be some hidden enemies, always. But what does she do? She reveals secrets. So we'll hold on. We'll see. We'll keep praying. If you can, please donate to the family. And please check out the other families and stories on my page. There's so many. They just keep coming. It's been really hard for me to, just even keep up with them. And I did Jelani because one of you requested it, and I really appreciate anybody who watches. And if you request, I can get to your request as soon as I can. I work a lot and all that, but I want to get these cases out there and I want to bring awareness. So there's always other cases on my channel. There was a family that I recently did a refund for. Their GoFundMe was only asking for $10,000. They can't even get there. And as I said, you know, the GoFundMe for Jelani will be listed below. Donate if you can. And remember that every single one of these families are doing this on their own. So your donation really helps them keep the case alive and keep all the extra, resources that they're going to need to get through it. So donate if you can. Please, yeah, like and share and subscribe for these people. I appreciate it. And I will continue to do them. You have a request, let me know. We'll try to get to them. And I hope and pray that Jelani and his parents will continue to speak their truth and find their truth and change things. And I believe they will, because Jelani really is just living forever here and we will never forget. So let's pray and let's hope. And thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.